It was an anomaly that changed everything. At first, it was dismissed as a strange geological formation, a fluke of nature, an optical illusion. But when the first team of scientists and explorers arrived at the site deep in the Amazon rainforest, they quickly realized they were dealing with something far beyond their comprehension. In a clearing, surrounded by ancient ruins, stood a portal, its surface a shimmering, translucent membrane that defied every known law of physics. Dr. Sarah Locke, the lead scientist on the expedition, had been the first to step forward. As she approached the strange formation, the air around it seemed to hum, resonating with an energy that was both alien and familiar. She reached out cautiously, her fingers grazing the surface. It was warm, like the heat of a summer's day, yet its texture felt more like liquid than solid. She stepped back, her heart pounding. The portal responded to her presence, flickering as though acknowledging her, and then, without warning, it opened wider. The sight that met her eyes was a glimpse into another world, a realm bathed in an eerie, otherworldly glow. There were no stars in this sky, no familiar sun, only vast, shifting landscapes that stretched as far as she could see. The team was in disbelief, a mix of excitement and fear rippling through them. They had spent months planning this expedition to search for lost civilizations, but this discovery was unlike anything they could have imagined. The portal was not a mere rift in space. It was a doorway to another realm, another dimension. As days passed, the scientists and explorers made careful observations. They discovered that the portal was not a single, isolated occurrence. It was part of an interconnected network. More portals, scattered across the globe in remote locations, were found, each one leading to a different realm, a different world. The discovery was mind-boggling. Each portal opened into a unique environment, a world of its own, with no apparent link between them other than the fact that they all seemed connected by these glowing, mysterious doorways. Some were lush and forested, others barren and desolate. Some appeared to be frozen in time, while others seemed to have evolved into completely alien ecosystems. What they hadn't expected, however, was the presence of other beings. The first signs came from an exploration team sent through one of the portals into a world they had dubbed Nova. The team had established a base camp, recording their findings from the other side. It was a paradise, a tropical planet with strange, bioluminescent flora and creatures unlike anything they had seen before. The team was documenting everything they could, collecting samples, taking photos, when they suddenly disappeared without a trace. The communication lines went dead, the feed from their cameras went silent, and no trace of them was ever found. This triggered an international response. Governments around the world came together, forming a coalition of the world's best scientists, military personnel, and explorers. Their mission was clear: study the portals, understand where they led, and determine if the mysterious disappearance of the first team was simply a fluke, or if something much darker was at play. The world had found an unprecedented opportunity to explore new worlds, but the dangers were now abundantly clear. Months later, the portal network had become a global fascination, and humans were beginning to understand the true scale of what they had discovered. The portals, however, were not simply a means of exploration. They were a doorway to an unknown part of the universe, a place where human understanding and technology were no longer the top of the food chain. There were creatures, intelligent ancient beings, that seemed to guard the portals, or perhaps inhabit the worlds on the other side. The first few encounters had been peaceful, or at least seemingly so. However, as more teams ventured into these other worlds, it became apparent that humanity was not the first to discover these portals. One particular team was sent to investigate a portal that led to a barren world. This time, they were prepared for anything. Equipped with advanced weaponry, drones, and deep space communication tools, they crossed over to the world they called Desolation. It was an arid, lifeless place, with strange spires of rock reaching into a blood-red sky. There was no sign of life, no trace of the ancient civilizations the scientists had hoped to find. But when they set up camp near a massive stone structure, a monument that seemed too symmetrical to be natural, they triggered an ancient defense mechanism. Suddenly, from beneath the ground, massive metallic creatures, machines more ancient than anything humanity had ever known, emerged, attacking without warning. They were automatons, programmed to protect the portal, and they didn't hesitate to open fire on the intruders. The team fought back with everything they had, but the machines were too advanced, too powerful. One by one, the humans fell, their bodies torn apart by the onslaught. It was a massacre, and the remaining survivors barely made it back to the portal before it closed, their communication feed nothing but static. The team's discovery triggered a wave of panic across the globe. These portals were not simply passive pathways. They were connected to a vast and dangerous network of worlds, inhabited by ancient technologies and beings that were far beyond anything Earth had encountered. The portals were not just a doorway to exploration. They were a door to a far-reaching and potentially hostile universe. But humanity, as always, refused to back down. Instead of retreating from the threat, they redoubled their efforts to explore the portals, to understand the technology behind them, and to find a way to communicate with the mysterious beings that seemed to guard them. The human spirit of curiosity and resilience fueled their drive forward. The portals had shown them that the universe was far greater and more mysterious than they could have ever imagined, and they weren't about to let the unknown defeat them. As the years passed, Earth became a nexus for interdimensional exploration. Teams of scientists, explorers, and diplomats worked tirelessly to understand and control the portals. They negotiated with otherworldly beings, formed uneasy alliances, and made groundbreaking discoveries that expanded human knowledge and power. But each journey into these new realms also came with risks, threats from alien species, ancient technologies, and cosmic entities that humanity was only beginning to understand. Yet, through it all, one thing became certain. The portals were not just the key to other worlds, they were the key to humanity's future. And though the mysteries were far from solved, humans had proven time and time again that their curiosity, resilience, and determination would carry them forward, no matter what unknown dangers lay beyond the glowing doorways. The universe was vast, and humanity had only just begun to explore it. But one thing was clear: humans had found the portals, and now they would find a way to make them their own.